I'm Sarah Storelli, on a quest to discover the people behind the cutting-edge innovations across industries, to tell the stories that define them far more than their titles. My guest today is Yvette Cesario. Well, hi, Yvette. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today.
Thank you, Sarah. I'm so excited to be here with you. It's it's an honor that you asked me to do this. I'm really excited to meet you and be here with you.
Well, thank you. I'm so excited to share your story. And I love the fact that we did not color coordinate. So
I know.
Everyone listening, we actually did not plan it, but great minds do think alike.
That's right. I know. We're just trying to brighten everyone's day, apparently.
Exactly. Well, so let's dive right in. Who has inspired you the most, along your journey of life?
Yeah. So I think if I was to pick one person, I would, of course, choose my mom. She was just, I've had a front row seat to her life my whole life. She immigrated from the Philippines when she was in her 30s. She didn't speak English when she arrived here. She built a career for herself. And I think that just really instilled for me the value of hard work, the importance of owning your outcomes. She decided she wanted a better life for us and for herself, and she worked really hard to get that. And it's just been an inspiration for me. And then just kind of her selflessness and humility, and how she sacrificed so much for my sister and I to have opportunities in our lives that she didn't have. And it's just I could go on and on about my mom, but she continues to be an inspiration for me.
That's wonderful. Yeah. I feel the same about my mom as well. So I love how mothers can really be those shepherders of us throughout life. How has your culture shaped you professionally and personally? And I know you also were a student athlete, and so not only from the fact that your mom immigrated over, but also being an athlete, how that helped play into where you are today.
Right. Sports are such an amazing experience. I played lots of sports growing up. And then I was able to continue to play volleyball. I walked on to a college volleyball program and then earned a scholarship from there. In so many ways, I think it's helped me, professionally and grow in my career. One, I failed a lot, and you learn from failure, and you learn how to respond to failure and move through things. You also learn how to work with people. Having to work collectively with a group of people towards a common goal is kind of what we do every day in our lives, and in our professional lives. So that having to work really hard with a group of women to go to try to win together and find ways, you have to compromise. You have to have empathy and understand their perspectives and how to motivate them. And then how to make sure that you're doing your part to contribute to the overall team. And I just that experience was so impactful, as I grew up, and I think it's helped me so much in my career as well. And even when you don't win, how to find that silver lining in there that you grow from, and you can create a win that maybe you didn't expect out of it. So sports were just such an amazing experience, and I'm so appreciative for how it shaped me to where I am today.
That's amazing. Yeah. We really appreciate you sharing that. As you mentioned, your children have been an inspiration, to you as well. And I think, as we've had conversations, throughout your career, you've been able to grow that here at Amazon while being a mother. It'd be great for you to share a little bit of that journey, how you think being a mom has helped you succeed in the workplace and actually has been a benefit.
Right. I think right before I had my first child is when kind of the maternity policies changed to the kind of where they are today. And I have been fortunate now at Amazon. I've been here for 9 years. I've had 4 children now through that. But I think that's, I feel grateful to have had that opportunity to grow my career here while growing my family. I think that we should have those options for women that want to still participate and be in the workforce, but need to take some time for their families. Or, once their kids are at a point where they're in school and they want to really re-enter the workforce, find ways to help them do that in a way that they can jump back in and not have, skipped a beat or lost so much time in their career development. I think that's really important to me, and I think I'm living it right now. Right. So I want to help, find ways that we can do that more women have this experience.
Given you as a leader at AWS and with your team and overseeing national security sales, which is ever increasing important, especially if like in the world we live in today, what would you say is your favorite Amazon leadership principle? I know there's a lot, but what do you think out of all of them is your most favorite?
Yeah. So my most favorite leadership principle is customer obsession. It's at it's why we're here. It's the reason that we do the work we do. We're trying to help our customers solve problems. I have such a great opportunity in being able to not just help my customers do their work, but it's work that's important to our entire nation as they protect and secure our way of life in our country. So it's an amazingly meaningful work that my team does, and it inspires me every day. Customer obsession, it's the core of what we do. From a Amazon culture perspective, it's at the core of our day one culture, where it's focus on our customers. It simplifies our decision making. It makes it easy to when we've got trades or decisions we have to make. It really helps us make sure that the things that we're doing and that we're focusing on as a team and as a company are adding value to our customers in the end, which is, it's the whole reason we're here. So customer obsession. I also think big is another big one. Big one. But, as our customers are trying to do really challenging things and transform how they deliver their mission and, transform their organizations, they need help to think differently. We need to make sure we understand their world and their challenges. We also have to help them think differently about how they can help upskill their workforce. Change is difficult in any organization, so I think if we can help, we can think big on their behalf and show them opportunities on how, we've done things at Amazon or how we've seen customers in other industries do things. That's really valuable for them. So, customer obsession and think big are the two that I really like, but there's so many great ones. And I love our leadership principles. It's just, to me, it was like life. Like I was like, these are great, like life, principles as well. So I just naturally, I've felt, really passionate and excited about them and excited to be a part of a company that focused on those principles. And it's really at the core of everything we do.
Absolutely. So switching gears a little bit, but still relevant, of course, regarding generative AI, of course, that's a hot topic right now. And so I would just be curious to know, given your area of focus, with national security sales, how, maybe some of these organizations are leveraging, Gen AI to go make, our country a safer place.
Right. Yeah. It's so, it's an area, there's so much activity and investment going on in this area. I don't think we can go through any sort of significant customer discussions right now without talking about generative AI. For the government, there's many areas where they really lean forward and lead commercial industry, but then there's some where they like to see how industry is using new capabilities and emerging technology such as generative AI. And I think this is an area they're both wanting to learn from industry, but also jump in quickly too and figure out how can they really apply this to the work that they do, to their mission. So I think while there's a lot of consumer applications out there today, commercially, I think the government is going to look for ways to build upon that. Use what industry is doing, but then how do they tailor that to their unique mission sets and their unique business cases? And I think there's a lot of experimentation that needs to still happen to better refine that and figure out how to build large language models that are relevant to their use cases. Some really low-hanging fruit in terms of how do you get more productivity out of doing business processes to some really impactful analytics and, more mission impacting use cases for national security. I think there's a lot that this technology and this emerging technology is going to do. And it's like you can't have any conversations right now without talking about generative AI, which I think is a great thing, which is great. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So my last question for you today is actually, what would you like to be known for to future generations when all is said and done?
What a question. I think I want to be known as, someone that helped people or inspired people to be their best. I think it's important to, what do I want to be known for? I think, people don't always remember what you say or what you do, but they remember how you made them feel. I realize that people do their best when they feel valued, when they're doing valuable work. So that's important. But then when they feel valued for the work they're doing. So how can I help? And the more that we're all at our best and doing great things, then the more customer value we're going to be bringing. The more we're going to be kind of paying that forward and inspiring more and more people to do great work. So I think that's what I want to help do and be known for.
And that's amazing. And I think it's always important to leverage the best out of folks to make the most impact. And it's an amazing example, and I feel like testimony, to you as a person and your leadership. And so I want to thank you so much for being on the show today. Immensely appreciate your time and the important, impactful work you are doing, not only for AWS, but for our customers in your space. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you so much for this time. It was great to meet you, and I'm glad that we came in here wearing our bright pink together as well.
Agreed.
I know. Yeah.
Well, thanks again. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Sarah.